Welcome back to Situations, where real life gets unpacked, unfiltered, and a little too relatable. Season 8 starts now. Let's get into it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the Podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Deanna.
How everybody doing today? We had a beautiful day today. Deanna, how you feeling today as well?
I'm feeling well rested. What about you?
Well, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We had a beautiful day today, so I was able to get out and get a little air. Not too much, just a little
Yeah.
bit. Clear my head.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Clear my head a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Today
hmm
we have another episode. I think
Okay.
we'll have another amazing episode today. For the last few weeks, I think we've been doing real good with the episodes. We've been getting a lot of good feedback,
hmm
a lot of great comments on the channel on YouTube. So apparently, we're doing something right. Okay,
Right.
so today we're going to talk about having standards. Okay,
Okay.
is having standards ruining your love life? That's the topic for today. Is
Ooh,
having
child.
standards ruining your love life? Because we do know at certain times people can have ridiculous standards to where people don't even want to get involved with that.
Right.
So I figure this is the reason why we'll tap into this situation today, and let's just
Okay.
see how it play out. Okay,
Okay.
you
hmm
ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so first thing I want to know is, are your standards protecting you or are they isolating you? Not you per se, in general.
Yeah. I mean, well, I can answer it personally and say both.
Okay,
uh, I would say protecting me because so I have somebody call me and say, I want to see you today. I'm like, something right now.
okay,
Like, no. I'm like, you have to make plans because you can't just come interrupt my time or my day. Like, if you can't make a proper plan or give me a heads up or whatever, then I'm not just gonna break my day for you.
right,
So, I'm told I'm difficult. But
okay,
who are you for me to just stop my day for?
okay. I mean that's true too. That's true.
If you saying you trying to take me out, then plan a proper date. That's what I'm like. You saying is it you? I just think with the standards of dating today, they don't want you to have no standards.
Okay. Well, I was always under the impression that standards are supposed to filter, not eliminate. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you have I don't have a problem with a woman that has standards, but
Right.
as long as those standards are realistic standards,
Right.
something that I can adhere to, then I have no
Right.
problem with that. But when you start talking unrealistically and
Right.
your standards don't even meet the qualities that I'm seeing in you,
Exactly.
that be my thing.
Right.
And
That's why I
that's
said both.
right. That be my whole issue. A lot of these
Right.
women have these unrealistic standards and they standards be higher than what the value that I see in them. Then
Right.
we're not talking realistically.
Right.
And
I
to me that
I
makes no sense.
I met somebody last week and he gonna text me something. I'm finna come get you. It was 10 o'clock at night. I said, sir, I think you text the wrong person. I mean, it be funny to me. It's like I'm not even getting mad because I know that I'm not finna. I'm not finna do that.
Right.
And I had already told you that. So until you text or call me a few days ahead of time at least,
Give you some type
you
of
know what I'm saying, or early in the week, it's like, can
right.
I take you out such and such? I mean, you trying to go to dinner, like, you not coming to pick me up at 10 o'clock for no dinner, 10 o'clock at night.
Right. I mean, you got to have some type of standards. You got to have some type of not standards,
That's what
but
I'm saying. I
respect.
can't, exactly. I'm like, I'm not just saying yes to anything.
Right.
Don't, what you
Right.
doing me all day? Don't, no. Just figure something out.
Right. And I think that's the problem with a lot of relationships today. When guys trying to get to know a female or trying to get next to a female, they put all you guys in the same bag.
Right.
So they figure they can call at 9, 10:30, 10 o'clock, 11
Right.
o'clock at night, say, I'm on my way to get you. The
Right. But
average
that's
female that's
somebody,
outside, she okay with that.
exactly. That's somebody who outside, that's somebody you could pick up. They want to go smoke, drink, whatever they doing, or whatever. Like that's, I be in the house because I be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's,
Right.
I'm like, if you don't let me know so I know how to plan my day and my work day accordingly, if I've been up since 4, I'm leaving out at 6. I done drove 10 to 12 hours or whatever I'm doing throughout my whole day. Might have drove, had to stop, go sing something, whatever I'm doing throughout the whole day. And then here you come 9 o'clock, somebody I want to see you. Baby, it's over with. I don't even have no energy for you.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Okay, we got Liz. Liz tuned in. Liz says, "Good afternoon." Well, good evening to you, Liz. We appreciate you
Good
tuning in.
evening.
Right, we appreciate you tuning in. Liz, I don't know if you just got here now. Well, we just basically really getting started. But today we're talking about is having standards ruining your love life. Okay, so that's basically what we're dealing with today. Is having standards ruining your love life.
Right.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. At what point do
Mhm.
standards become unrealistic expectations?
When the woman talking about the man got the makeover, 7 figures, and she probably ain't even got a job. He
Absolutely.
got the be 6'4", he got the this, he got the that, and she looking like a jack in the box. I mean,
Right. Right. Right.
I don't know.
I'm in total agreement with that. Because like I just said before, you can't have all these high expectations and all these standards, and me looking at you, those standards and those expectations don't fit what I'm seeing. I don't know how that equates.
And you
Where do
don't know the
you
difference between there, there, and there.
absolutely right, right, right. And Liz, you're absolutely right. When they start asking for stuff they can't even afford.
Exactly.
That's true. That's 100% a fact. They
Exactly.
want the Birkin bags, they want the
Right.
them high end purses. And my first question to them would be, okay, well, do you own one of these already? If no, why not?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you don't
Right.
already have one of these, why don't you?
Right.
If this is something that you like having,
Exactly.
you know, we got to make it make sense. You got to make it make sense. Um. So with that being said, do you think people are rejecting others or rejecting the effort?
I think it's both. Uh, some people don't. Some people just look at people, you know what I'm saying, and reject them. And
Okay.
some people are not genuinely putting forth any effort and they're getting rejected. So I feel like it's both.
Okay.
Because I mean, because if a man is, you know, got his life together, I mean, whatever, working on, he present himself as a leading man, and you always got everything hanging out, or you always, you know what I'm saying, like where is he supposed to take you?
Right.
So he could be rejecting her because you don't even look the part.
Right.
First off, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't take you to my family house or the picnic or the, you know what I'm saying? Everything ain't about the club and having everything hanging out.
Right. Well, I'm in agreement with that wholeheartedly. I really am. But you know, that that ordeal where you feel that you have to have your ass and your titties hanging out at every
Right.
time we getting ready to do something.
Right.
That's not necessarily always the case because every setting that may not be required.
Right.
You know, and to be honest, I don't think no setting really requires that.
Right.
You know, if you're a female, no setting requires that. I mean, because my thing is
Right.
this: if that's the only that if those are your only means of drawing attention to where you
Right.
have to be half naked to draw the attention, then that's sad.
Right.
That's sad. You should be able to draw attention whether you clothed,
Right.
fully clothed, or not. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
And vice versa for the man. If the woman is dressed, accordingly, casual, she covered this and that, and you just want to be coming with all your street dope boy clothes on, your pants sagging or whatever, it's like, sir, pull the pants up, go buy a
Right,
casual pair of shoes, go buy you a sport jacket,
right.
go buy you a couple of sweaters.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. But I can assure you, those type of people, they probably don't own that one suit. The men that dress like that with their pants hanging all off their ass, they probably don't
That's what
own
I was
that
gonna
one
say.
suit. Not one.
I I knew somebody and then he had gym shoes on with the suit. In some instances it look okay, but I'm like those gym shoes don't even go with that.
Right. I mean,
Like,
I can see if it was like the gym shoes with the suit or deal. I can see that. I mean, but it has to be for that type of an
no.
occasion.
You
Like
talking
it's a
about
gym
the
shoe.
little casual gym shoes that looks fine with the suits. I'm not talking big bulky Balenciagas with a suit don't match. It don't. Off whites don't match with the suit.
Right, right. Oh man, yeah, you're right about that. But let them tell it that's fashion. That's what they gonna call. They consider that fashion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's when you paying attention to the person and not what you like about them to see if you guys are compatible or not.
Right.
To know that you won't be embarrassed when you get ready to go somewhere, male or female.
Facts. That's facts. Okay. Well, let me say
Because
this.
I'm gonna say, even if you don't have a standard, when you go into different places, they have a standard. So
Absolutely.
you better get you some.
Right. Right. Yeah, because in some places, some restaurants, you can't even get in
That's
dressed
what I'm saying.
inappropriate. Right.
No.
So that's not going to happen. You're absolutely right. And speaking of that, do your standards match what you bring to the table? Do you
Right.
think your standards match what you bring to the table?
I do.
Okay. I can agree with that. I agree. Because like I said, when you bring in, if you a man with standards and of quality,
Right.
then what you present, what you bring with you to the table should reflect you.
Right.
That's how I look at that.
Right.
You know, I was always told your woman should be a reflection of who you are.
Right.
Now, do do that still carry any weight in today's society? I don't know.
Well, first of all, they not they women's. You got so many sneaky links and everything else out here, you know.
Right, right.
So
But let's thought hypothetically. Let's
hmm
say for instance, if that is his woman,
right.
you know, um, she's supposed to be a reflection of who you are.
Absolutely.
Because let's say for instance, I bring a female around my family. She's half naked, chest sticking out, ass cheeks out, and she just walking around flaunting every few seconds she getting up, walking past, to be seen, right? And
Yeah.
the first thing my family gonna look at me and be like, what, who is this? What is that? It's a bad look on me.
Exactly. But my whole thing is for you is why would she even make it that far? She wouldn't have got through the door.
Right, right. That's true too.
And then it ain't even about hurting people's feelings. It's about telling the truth. baby, we ain't gonna be able to go because you can't wear that over there.
Right.
That's not the place, the setting for that.
Yeah, but that's how that's how they come at. And if you look at, and like I say, if you look at how they portray themselves on social media, it's the same way. The
But
same
that's
way
social media. That's what
everything.
I'm saying. When you get to living in real life and you go into formal balls and you go into people's houses and gatherings and meeting families and all that stuff, whatever, that's not social media. That's the real world. And there
Right.
are standards.
But see, they trying to. Well, we do know that civilized people know this. Okay, we do know
Right.
there is standards, but all they trying to do is portray what they see on social media in the real world.
Right. So
It-
at that point, you have to make a judgment call on is this the type of person you want in your life?
right. Yeah. Because at some point you gonna have to make a decision at some point, because like I
Right.
say, that woman's supposed to be a reflection of that man,
Right.
and if she
First of
look at
all, she
it,
should be a reflection of her own self, the self-respect. So,
well, just by going by some of the things that I see on a daily basis, I don't think they even care about respect anymore.
exactly.
They don't care about respect anymore. All they concerned about today is clicks, likes, and
Right.
shares.
Right.
That's the only thing that means something to them right now. They have
Right.
no clue
So,
what respect is.
if you're a leading man with quality and discernment, you should be able to, you know, have an outing, date, or whatever with a person, one or two or whatever, and be able to see by answering certain questions how they present themselves and all that. Is this going to be cool or is this going to be an issue?
Right. You're absolutely right. And like I said, and we kind of answered the next question
Hmm.
just right now, because my next question was, our standards today based on real life or social media fantasies? We
Right.
already answered that, because a lot of standards are
Exactly.
influenced by, like I said, highlight
Right.
reels and not reality. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is the part where that's the part that needs to be cleaned up.
Right.
If we can clean that up, then I think we may be on to something.
Right.
We might be able to get those women back, that finds themselves to be queens or want to be treated like a queen.
Yeah, because you still could serve sex appeal and all of that without revealing everything.
Right. That's true. But
But a lot of them don't have the confidence without it. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman that could be fully dressed and still confident about herself, like it be that sometimes too.
right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay, well, let me ask you this question.
Hmm.
No, I don't want to ask you that question just yet. I'm gonna skip by that one right now. I'm gonna hold that one. Let me
Okay.
ask you this one.
Hmm.
Do you think people are confusing preference with requirements?
Absolutely.
Okay. And
Absolutely.
I think that, people that's like that, I think that really kills the connection.
Right.
I really do. Because if you think about it, preferences are flexibility.
Right.
They're flexible. But requirements are deal breakers.
Right.
So um we have to be able to distinguish the two.
But see, that's why I was like when I told my cousin she was going out with somebody, he had a friend, and she like, cuz just I'm like, I don't want to go. Cuz just come on, just go along. Then, I entertained the guy and he's talking about, I think you bad or whatever, but I need your booty to be a little bit bigger. You want me to buy you one. You see what I'm saying? It's like I didn't even want to go in the first place.
Right.
I'm like, baby, go get what you want because I'm not finna go get no surgery for you.
Right. But see, that goes to show you exactly what I'm talking about right now, how people are in society today. They feel that all women are the same.
Right.
They feel as if they can treat and talk to women all the same.
Right.
But we do have to understand there are women still out here that could still consider themselves good, genuine women,
Right.
women of value.
But see, then when you don't, that's what I'm saying. You're deemed difficult, or she uptight. No, I just have certain standards, and I have self esteem. Like,
Right,
you not finna make me feel no type of way by saying that, but you are being disrespectful by saying that because, like I said, I didn't want to go out with you in the first place. I'm just tagging along to do a favor. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And it was like,
right,
for you to say that, just go get what you want. You don't even have
right,
to say that. And that's also, I'm like, it's a lot of things that I find unfavorable about you, but we ain't even got to go there. Have a blessed one.
right. Yeah. And sometimes you have to make those hard choices. You have to call it a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Whether they
Yeah,
like it or not. If it has to
because
be
that's what I'm
said, it
saying.
has to be said.
He had the money, he had to this, he had to that. You know what I'm saying? And it was like for somebody else, oh girl, he finna give me this money to go. He got it, this and that. I don't care about that.
Right.
Because to
Well,
me,
that's what I
you
say.
started out being disrespectful.
Well, that's what I mean. That goes to show you there's some women out here that still have some
Exactly.
substance, some standards, some quality about themselves. Everybody ain't out here just chasing a bag because they feel the man got it. You know.
Right. But I mean, for any man or woman, it's like, dang, just at least try to have a genuine conversation with the person first. And even, I mean, it was another way he could have did, like, even ask about, what do you think about plastic surgery? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. To even check my temperature, to even see where I was at for the butt. For you to say, I think you bad, I just feel like you need a bigger butt. I would, that's what I would change about you or whatever. Like, who made you King Tut? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like, I don't even know you, first of all. Now you coming in here with a demand that's gonna change my life, and you still might cheat on me, sir. Have a good day. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. And I always say, women that to get those breast and ass surgeries. Now
Yeah,
they got to work your ass off to pay your ass off.
right.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But do you think high standards attract better partners?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You may feel like you can't find somebody, or it's taking you longer, this and that or whatever. But if your standards low, snakes crawling on the ground,
Okay.
eagles soaring in the sky. You said you want 6'4", you got to go, what Michelle Obama say, you got to go, when they go low, we go high. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you just gotta decide what you want, and then just the different places that you're going to see a different type of quality of man or female. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you study going to the same old club where everybody in there grabbing on anybody, the women naked, the boys selling, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they doing, that crowd. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, then that's what you gonna get up out of there most
Right.
times.
Right. I mean, but my thing is too, and I'm gonna use that same analogy you just used. That
Mhm.
if you're constantly going into a club,
Right.
do you think you're gonna attract something different? You're gonna attract the
Maybe
same
once in
thing
a
pretty
while with
much
a
every
person that
time.
drags somebody out, like with me. Cuz just come on, just go. I'm somebody that don't even go out here. You see what I'm saying? You just
Right.
happen to catch me in here on this off night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I be though. That's how I be.
I
But
was
let me
talking to a friend today, and he was saying he was dating this woman, and they had been dating and, together, and I guess still seeing each other, whatever, off and on for quite some time, over some years or whatever. So she basically had called him and was telling him that don't make plans to whatever, we going out and this and that. So when a woman is doing that, he's thinking this time she finna pay, right? Because she like, don't plan on Friday. We going out, we going here, we going there, with this and that. They went to the restaurant, boom. She ain't bust a move. Okay, he paid for the restaurant, which he was saying he had always paid for everything. They
right,
birthdays, everything he paid for.
right,
Then boom, they went to the movies. Like, lady, that was the cheapest thing. You could have paid for the movie or the candy or something. She didn't pay for nothing. Then boom, they went to have some cocktails after that. He paid for that. Then boom, he was like, you gonna get the gas $40 on whatever pump. She didn't even pay $40 for the gas. And he was like, he was like, they went back, I guess, to a place, whatever. He was like, he ended up sleeping with her, whatever. And I was like, I said, that's crazy. You sold yourself short like that. I said, you gonna understand when I finish talking to you. I said you always pay for everything. And I'm not saying if a man feel like he won't do that, that's fine. But he felt like this one time when she said she made plans, whatever, that she was gonna pay. I was like, so you let the whole night go by. She didn't attempt to pay for one, not drop a skittle, like nothing. I'm like, then you went back home and you gave her your most prized possession, you know what I'm saying, that you couldn't get back. All that other stuff can be replaceable or done with somebody else. Once you lay down with somebody, that's a part of you that you're giving away. And then you said you didn't even enjoy it. I said, so you just lost inside out. You lost all across the board. He was like,
Right.
dang, I didn't even look at it like that. But it was just like, you like you said, with the society and the standards, whatever, they're just so used to the man paying all the time. And it was like, even though you felt some type of way about it or whatever, you still was a gentleman and paid everything. But then you went back to lay down with her or whatever, and it wasn't even nothing because guess what? It rubs you the wrong way. So why would you
Right.
even still attempt to lay down with her like that was finna fix it? And it didn't.
Well, maybe that was her form of payment. Maybe that's how she
And
figured.
that
You
didn't
know,
even check out.
what'd you say again?
And that didn't even check out.
Uh,
I from what he was telling me, I think she felt like that was her form of payment. And then after that, now she texting all the family members and everybody else. Sometimes tell him to call me or my number ain't changed and this and that or whatever. But you want to have she was like, my mama told me the man always pay for everything. So why didn't you volunteer to take him somewhere then?
right. I was going to say, wasn't she the one that initiated the date?
Yeah, you should have just kept letting him initiate and kept letting him pay.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. That's a perfect example of what I'm saying.
But
You
see,
know,
I told him, I said, but see, that's what y'all men do. Y'all will keep on dealing with that because you like the sex or because she pretty or this and that or whatever. And then after that, now it's all 50-50 from here on out. Or if you ain't got this, now you got all these demands with a new person. Like, sir, hold on. Wait, stop. Pump the brakes because
right.
everything that you let this woman do to you or everything that you experience, this is a whole different person over here. If you ain't cleaned the slate, don't come over here. Because I'm
Right.
not finna pay what somebody else did to you.
And that's exactly what it sounds like to me. He's trying to get back what he lost previous.
I mean, well, he didn't say
Back.
that, but I'm just saying it's so many men that do that. They be, I was married and this and that, and I didn't. Okay, well, guess what? I was never married to you, and I didn't do any of those things to you.
Right.
So you should have went and go laid on the couch and got it all out before you come over here.
Well, that's true. Well, Liz said, she said, men have to heal too. You're right,
Exactly.
Liz. You're absolutely right.
But they don't. They jump to the next thing, and guess what? The suitcase have so much stuff in it, it start busting open when they get with you. Now you trying to clean it up.
But I think that's men's um how can I say this? I don't I really believe a lot of men don't take the time to heal. And you're
They just
right,
go get
though.
a new woman.
Right. They
Right.
get out of one and get into another.
Right.
And I think that's just the nature in a man, you know.
Right. And they try to use sex for healing, and it's not.
Right.
Because even at that very night, guess what? The sex didn't even fix it for him. And that's
Right.
when it finally hit him. And he was like, after that, I ain't calling no more. It took you all that time, all them years you was dealing with her for that to happen. That one time. To see that you wasn't appreciated. Never. Like never about, you know what I'm saying? It was like, that's crazy.
Right. Well, but I mean that's and I have to admit, you know, that's us. That's us. That's men. That men will do that. I must admit that. We will do that because, like I said, we
Right.
don't take the time to heal.
Right.
We get into something else thinking us getting into something else takes our mind off what we just did previously or what we had previously.
Right.
And that's, I guess that's us to a fault, I guess,
Right. And
But
see,
like you
but then a
said,
man say, I got this woman, oh, she this, she that, she got this type of job. And he was like, she had a good job and stuff too. And other men will say this, oh, I was married and then she had this, but then she didn't ever support nothing that you did. You was feeling like this. Then, what I'm saying? I'm not rich. I get up and work every day too or whatever. But I am what I'm saying, a generous woman, or I'm a woman that reciprocates, or I do nice things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then I get somebody telling me like it wasn't enough, baby. I would never spend another damn of my money. Go back to being misused and abused. Then it's,
right,
oh, I messed up. Let me fix it. You can't fix nothing over here.
right. Okay, well let me ask you this then.
Uh-huh.
Are people single because they won't settle or because they won't grow?
It's both. It's both.
Okay.
Because for a man, if he's used to dealing with every woman, he's used to getting his way. That's what I'm saying. And then he calling me something, I'm finna come get you. And I'm like, no, you're not. So now he just gonna call somebody else that he maybe been dealing with. It might be toxic, but he know he can have his way with her. And then for me, and for him, he won't grow. And then for me, I won't settle because you're not coming to pick me up at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. But do you think it would really be settling or evolving the mindset?
On who part?
On the female part, on your part. Let's say the female part. He calling you at 10, 11 o'clock at night, opposed to you settling. Now uh you're not gonna settle, but you're gonna take this time to evolve your mindset.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's not really nothing for me to evolve because I'm communicating this. Look, I don't have a problem with going out with you. Here is my schedule. If you call me, I would appreciate if you can give me a heads up, or if you could try to plan something, or call me earlier in the day if you want to do something. Then what do you do with that? You can't keep calling at 10 o'clock saying what you're doing.
Right.
Because now you're blocked.
Okay.
Because now my peace is being disturbed because I'm not saying I don't want to go out with you. You just can't what you doing with me and call me at 10 o'clock saying you finna come get me.
Right. Right. That's understandable. Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all.
Hey, loves, you're tuned in to Situations, the podcast, where real people talk real situations. Subscribe, it helps the channel grow and keeps the conversations hot.
Okay. Let me
And
ask
I'm
you
not
this.
saying
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'm just finish the statement.
I'm not saying that I haven't even been out at 10 o'clock at night before, but I feel like when you first getting to know somebody, because it might be summertime, nights outside, babe, I'm finna come pick you up. Let's go. We can go drive down Lakeshore Drive. Let's go get a little nightcap or whatever. We can get some chicken or something, listen to some R&B in the car. That's great. But I'm like, when I'm first meeting men, you can't skip the steps and not do no proper dates and all of that time, but I'm finna just come get you.
Right.
Like, no, sir, where you got the come on, you gotta set the standard.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because,
Because
like I said,
guess
when you're
what?
trying to,
I don't know you and I'm not that comfortable with you. We got to have these dates out in the open place or whatever. I got to check your temperature and feel you out and come familiar and someone comfortable with you for me to even be like, because guess what? When we first go out, I'm driving my own car to that too.
right, right,
So you can't say you met me the first time. It's like, oh, I'm finna come pick you up. Sir, I don't even know you. And take me where?
right. Well, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that because, like I said, when you're getting to try to know someone, you wanna, like you said, you want to take the proper steps.
Right.
You want to have dates and you want to have a afternoon date where it's light outside. Y'all
Right.
take a walk down the beach or go
Right.
get some food and drop you back off and give you something to think about.
Exactly.
Make that date
So I'm like,
put something on a
right.
woman's mind.
Right. When people meet me, they be like, because I be cool, sarcastic, funny, all the stuff. It seems like I've been knowing you forever. That's cool and fact, but you haven't though.
Right, Right.
And guess what? I can't be too careful because what he seemed like, yeah, I'm just gonna go with him, and then boom, now I'm cracked over the head. You know what I'm saying? Because I let my guard down because I didn't know you. Like the
Right.
woman, she went hiking with the man on the first day. You don't know this man. Now you up in the mountains, didn't even come back home.
Well, yeah, but you can't be too careful. That's for sure.
Or you letting the man flag you out that you don't even know. But I mean, they doing it. You know how many trips I didn't turn down? I could have been to Dubai and everywhere else.
Right.
I don't know you, and I don't know what you're capable of doing to me. And
Yeah.
I'm not coming out there for that. So guess what? I'm not even putting myself in that situation. People go, you stupid, you crazy, I would have went, but go ahead. Because I ain't going.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you got to use your better judgment. Everything that shine ain't gold.
Right.
You have to be smarter than that. You have to be smarter than that.
I
You know.
I had I had a girl I was cool with. Like my kids when they was a little bit younger, they used to leave for the summer to go with the dad or whatever it's in that. And she like, girl, the kids gone. You still in the bed. It's 9 o'clock. And you ain't got nobody coming over there. I've been here 3, 4, guys up in here. Okay, well that's you. My standard is different.
Yep. Perfect example of what I said earlier.
Right.
You know, and a lot of them don't have standards. This is a normal routine for them.
Right.
They want multiple partners. They want to deal with multiple people because
Right.
a lot of time they're not only looking for just a relationship, they're looking for a sponsorship.
Right.
That's basically what it is. They're looking for someone to sponsor them.
Right.
That's why they fucking around with all these different men. And that's not cool. It's not cool from a woman's perspective anyway,
Right.
because now that gives you a title, you know.
But see, for me, it's oh, she the worst. She stuck up. You need to loosen up. You need to. I'm just fine, because guess what? You study racking up bodies, and now you coming over here. Every time I talk to you, you telling me a story on why this and that happened and why this and that ain't work out. I don't want that. I'm a lover. I have a big heart. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my schedule, I get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm set up a different type of way. So I gotta do what's gonna work for me. I can't move like you move. I'm gonna get towed back every time.
Right, right. Danielle, what's going on, man? We appreciate you tuning in. Danielle made a comment. He said, "What age range are we speaking of?" Well, Danielle, the average woman. We speaking about the average woman. Anywhere from, I would say, 18 to 30. Maybe 32. Um, I don't know how much of the conversation you've heard thus far, but um, what we're talking about today is having standards ruining your love life. Now, we could be possibly talking about some women that's older than 30. It just
Right,
all depends on how you carry yourself as a woman and how men are reacting to these standards that these women have.
right,
Earlier in the broadcast, I said that, I've seen all these women with these high ass standards. You got to be 6 feet. You got to make $300,000. You got to do this. You got to do that. But all those high standards don't even match what I'm looking at as far as her as a
right,
woman. So
right.
this is what we breaking down today. We kind of dissecting it a little bit. So feel free to jump in at any given time with your opinion, and let's talk about it.
But see, I was gonna say, so when I was a teenager, you know, I had different sets of friends or whatever. And a lot of them will be lying saying they was at my house and they wasn't. I was at home in the bed. Or like one particular, time, me and some of my friends, we would go hang out with these guys. And they was staying over there having sex. Some of them got pregnant, whatever. And I had to walk home by myself. I'm like, no, I ain't staying. I'm finna go home. I don't want to get in trouble and I want to come outside tomorrow or whatever this and that. So the standard was always there for me.
Right. Well, I understand that some women have it.
No, but that's what I'm
Some
saying. I'm just bringing this up because he was saying what age range. I was 15 then, and now I'm 46. It's still the same. I've still got the standard.
Right. That's why I say some women have those standards, and some women just don't have it. It don't they don't possess it.
Right.
And you see it every day on social media.
Right.
They don't have no respect for themselves. They're lowering
No.
their standards when it comes to social media, because like I said,
Right.
everything have to be half naked, and
Right.
I always reflect back to that because that's very important in today's society. You know, um, women that feel that they have to get naked to get attention, that's sad.
Right.
That's sad.
Right.
To me, that's sad. To me, that you're lowering the bar when you do this.
Because you should be that girl no matter what you got on.
Absolutely, 100%. And that goes for the men too.
Right.
It goes for the men too. We as men, we should know how to dress. We should
Right.
know how to dress for the occasion. You know, and Donnell, this don't apply to you. You know what I'm saying? This don't apply to you because ever since I was a shorty, you always put that shit on. You know what I'm saying? You always stayed fly to me. Even to this day, you still put that shit on. So when I say men need to learn how to dress, that don't even apply to you, bro. It really
This
don't,
is what I'm
because I
saying. So what
already
if I'm
know.
like, babe, I want you to go to this fundraiser with me, and he's
Right,
telling me some, oh, you not finna come up in the fundraiser with no pelly on.
right.
You not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Um, well, Liz made a comment first. Let me see what Liz say.
Okay.
Okay, Liz said the way you dress definitely matters. Coordinating is everything. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you got to know when you walk in that room, you got to be able to command the room.
Right.
You got to be able to when that door open and everybody turn and look to see who coming through that door. You got to
Right.
hold that attention.
Right.
You
And it's
know,
not about, I don't care what people think. You can have the attitude, but guess what? Still, when you walk in certain places and when you go in certain places, it is your first impression is what they gonna think.
absolutely. Your first impression always be your best impression. Always,
Right.
always. Um, Let me ask you this:
Hmm.
do you think people's standards actually is just a list of their past traumas?
Some can because that's why they keep repeating them.
Okay.
Because at some point you got to get it, but because it's a familiar thing, they usually fall back into it.
Okay. Okay. Donnell said, "Thanks, nephew. I agree. A lot of men don't know how to dress for the occasion." You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's just how and it's sad though. It's sad. As men, you should never be walking around with your pants hanging all off your ass.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how that became a thing.
Right.
And what makes it even sadder to me is when I see older gentlemen dressing like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That's I can see if you young dudes 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, trying to portray what they see in the rap game. I can
Right.
see that. Okay, cool. But when you 30 anything, I mean, come on now. You got to do we got to do better than that. Got to do better than
Exactly.
that. That's to me
Exactly.
that's sad. You 30 something
Right.
years old, you walking around with a ski mask on, and
Okay.
right, and then you got your pants hanging all off your ass. And then you stand
Right.
in line, excuse me. You stand in line for every new Jordan that come out. Come on,
But
man.
this my
Let's
whole thing is you always walking with, and y'all got y'all pants halfway down. It ain't even just a little bit, but study be saying pause. You do know with them pants sagging like that, that's an invitation for that.
right, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't get it.
Because I mean, even today now, when we saying and we see a lot of it, more of it's coming out with the down low men or whatever, and the women like it's like if you study saying you hanging with the guys all day and you don't never got time for me, sir.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I really don't.
We see what's to say about it. It's crashing out. This guy was in the girl had, I guess they was together, and he had got out, and she had his phone, had locked herself in the car. Baby, he was tearing the car up because what was in that phone that you didn't want her to see? It
Right.
couldn't have been no other women. It had to be another man.
Right.
If you gonna tear the whole car up,
Okay. Liz made a comment. Liz stated that she said, I feel like older men 35 and up need to up their standards after experiencing something you want different. So you need different, you need to require different. That's true.
right?
Absolutely true.
I agree.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I feel kind of generous today, y'all. I feel a little generous. I see we got a couple people tuned in. I know,
Uh-huh.
Liz, if you still tuned in, put a thumbs up for me. Thumbs up. That way I know you still tuned in. Donnell, if you still tuned in, put a thumbs up in the chat. I know you. That way I know you're still here. Well, Liz just made another comment, so I know she's still here. Okay, if Donnell, if you're still in the chat, put a thumbs up for me. I'm in a generous mood today. I want to give you guys a little something. I got a few cups I want to give away. They're really nice drinking mugs. I mean, it ain't much. It's something I think you guys probably will like. But let me show you guys what they are. They're real nice drinking glasses. You know, get your drink on. They White Sox cups, 125 year anniversary drinking glasses. So this is basically what they're looking like.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys one of these. Liz, you got a glass coming. Donnell, if you're still here, put a thumbs up in the chat for me. That way I can make sure I get you one as well. Tiana, you got one coming.
Okay.
So anybody that's in the chat right now or tuned in right now, I'm gonna make sure you guys get a glass or put a thumbs up in the chat for me. That way I know who I can get glasses to. Okay, Liz, you got a glass coming. Donnell, still there. Okay, cool. Donnell, you got a glass coming. Okay, Liz, after this broadcast is over, shoot me a message on Facebook. Shoot me a message on Facebook with your if are you in this, I don't think you're in the city, right, Liz? But shoot me a message after this airing. That way I can get you a glass, and Donnell, I'll get you yours. Okay. Let's keep it moving right along. Okay, Liz says she's in Texas, Dallas. Okay, all right, that's not a problem. I can get it to you. That's not a problem. Let me ask you this, Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that's tuned in, is it wrong for you to want somebody that already has it together?
No,
Huh?
it's not wrong, but I mean, if what you're bending on is like not nothing major, it's just like little things, whatever, that's okay too.
Right. Now, this is part 2 to that question.
Okay.
But let's say that you don't. Let's talk about me per se. Let's say, for instance, I
Okay.
want a woman that already has it already together. That
Mm-hmm.
we already established. You said nothing's wrong with that, right?
Right.
Let's flip it now. Let's say, for instance, I don't have it all together. Is it still wrong?
No, but I mean, that's something you have to agree or disagree on.
Okay.
It's nothing wrong with saying what you want or what you require or what your standards are, you know what I'm saying, or what you're interested in. It's nothing wrong with that. But then in order for something to work, it has to be a yes on both sides.
You agree. And Donnell, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Donnell said, as long as you don't have unrealistic expectations, you're absolutely right
Right.
about that. As long as your expectations are realistic
Right.
and not unrealistic, then that's
Right.
something that you can work on. That's
Right.
something that maybe your partner can help you or assist you in,
Right.
as far as making the necessary change that need to be made for me to
Right.
get there.
Right.
You know, that's what it's all about.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we all on the same page with that, and I totally agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Um, Let me say this: do you think people are building partners or shopping for them?
Shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right, because that's how modern dating is. Feel like shopping.
But that's
Feel
the
like
whole
shopping.
thing. Everybody want everything instant, and that's what I'm saying. You could find somebody and have it all together, and they still may not be right in other
Right.
areas. You see what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like, yeah, you got it all together. You got a nice house, you got a nice job, you got the money, whatever. But guess what? Your communication is poor, or you know what I'm saying. You overbearing. You know what I'm saying, or you selfish. Like it's some other stuff that could break that too.
Right. Right. But like I said, in today's society, modern dating feel like shopping. You know,
Yeah.
because I do know for certain that a real relationship requires building. You have to
Yeah.
build that.
Right.
There's nothing instant about that, because that's why
It's
it's
not.
important to get to know one another, because I need to know your likes, I need to know your dislikes.
Right.
I need to know how you move. I want to see how you move. I want to see how you handle certain
Right.
situations, you
Right.
know. And once you're able to obtain all this information about your partner, then that's what makes that's how you all become one.
Right.
And vice versa, because I'm pretty sure that she's breaking me down as well,
Right.
trying to feel me out. Like you said, testing my temperature.
Right.
So I
Most
get it.
important for me, I like peace. I feel like a lot of other stuff we can work on. You know what I'm saying? If
Right,
it's dysfunction, it ain't peaceful. I can't do nothing.
right. Donnell said that it's more like window shopping.
It is,
Yeah,
and that's why it ain't nothing. It be a hit and miss, and it ain't lasting.
right. I mean, because
Or
that.
you get somebody because everything look good on paper. And we both got it together, and now you got a professional relationship. You see what I'm saying? And everything else is lackluster.
Right,
Like you really ain't into them, but they got their stuff together. You see what I'm saying? It looks good,
right,
and y'all could travel, y'all could this, y'all could that, but you really don't even like them like that.
right.
It be all messed up. It be crazy.
But like you say, when it's like that, they have all type of character flaws. You
Right?
know, things that you things will actually be real deal breakers for you,
Yeah.
but you're overlooking those red flags because
Yeah.
he have the ability to take you shopping. He has the ability to take you out of the country and do all
Or
these
I didn't
expensive
seen it. I didn't
things.
seen it a lot with the women. You know what I'm saying? The guys, man. I'm on her health insurance. She got a real good job. She got me on all her stuff, or she buy me this. She do that. She buy me. She. You know what I'm saying? And but I ain't really into her like that or whatever. But she give me anything I want. Or the other one, she let me do whatever I want. She let me do whatever I want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't care how much you got. You ain't doing whatever you want over here.
Not no real relationship. But then again, uh, we in this society today, well, poly is a thing now. The
Right.
women
But
are
what
the
I'm
women
saying is
are
no,
okay
but
with
if
that.
right, but that's what I'm saying. But sometimes you'll look at some and you'll be like, how the woman is in the stuff because the man had a mask on or that woman had a mask on and they said this, but then they was lying. You know what I'm saying? Now it's 6 months, a year, 2 years later. Now they cutting up, they acting up. It's a whole new. And you over there trying to figure out who the heck you with.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy work to me. That's crazy work. If you're in a relationship like that and your partner is allowing you
Yeah.
to step out like that, and she's okay with it, then she'll go for
Right.
anything. She'll go for anything.
And just because people got their stuff together, that's what I'm saying. Another person could still be selfish. It's like, it's men out here that want women to pay for all the trips, all of this. It's like, sir, who finna do all of that?
Right. Yeah.
I had it happen to me. I had treated somebody very well on a special occasion, whatever. Spent over like $1,000. Then they was talking about they want to go out of town on a trip or whatever. Then some you buy the plane tickets. I'm not paying for nothing else. I just spent $1,000.
Ungrateful.
Like,
Right.
no.
That's ungrateful there. Ungrateful.
I'm like, the audacity. I'm not spending nothing else. I spent all of this to make all this was all about you. Now you want to go to this other place. You need to pay. But that's what I'm saying. But I'm not a woman that I'm not rich, you know what I'm saying? But I get up and I work every day. Or when it comes time to do something, I'm able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can pick and choose whatever you want. Because sometimes the women that have it all together, they be selfish and they don't want to do nothing like the other guy. He wanted her, she wanted him to pay for everything. She ain't never want to spend a dime. Not even
Right.
buy, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta just keep your eyes open for, you gotta look out for
Right.
a little bit of both.
You're right. You're right. Liz made a comment. Liz said, "Hell no."
I'm like, I'll never spend another dime of my money again on you. Not my hard-earned money.
Right. But that's what happens when the guys, a person, I ain't gonna say guys, but I'm gonna say a person like that.
Yeah.
That's what happens when they're accustomed to being taken care of
Yeah.
versus being a provider. Because if
Right.
that man was a provider, that is no way, shape, or form that he would try to put that type of pressure on you. He saw you
Exactly.
just spend over $1,000 some odd dollars
And
for
that was
him.
something that I wanted to do for this special occasion for him.
Right.
So I planned everything. You see what I'm saying? I did that. I
Right.
didn't say he had to pay nothing. I took care of everything.
Right. Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's just a guy used to being taken care of versus doing the
Yeah.
taking care of.
Right.
It's just that simple. Just that simple.
And then I had somebody else. We supposed to been dating and stuff like that. And I'm like, when we going out or whatever? And oh, is it an issue? It sounds like it's an issue for you, whatever. So I backed on all off of it. Then he come back or whatever, wanted some of my time, telling some, I'll pay you what you would have made in a day or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'll work. I turned the money down. I'm
Right.
cool.
Yeah, you did right. You turn it down because that that's protecting your integrity.
Yeah, because at first you were making it seem like it was an issue. You started calling me trying to get me to come over your house at night. And I'm like, when are we going out in the daytime? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So it was like, it seemed like this a problem. I said, ain't no problem at all. Don't okay. And I just faded on out. Now here you come back months and months later or whatever. Can I take you out or offering money to pay for my day off and all that? No, I'm cool. That's why I was like, money don't buy everybody.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right about that.
And I'm not a die. You can't check in and check out, pick me up, put me down when you get ready to. I'm a whole person with feelings, integrity, standards. You know what I'm saying? I go to sleep at certain times. I get up because my life is working on my accord the way that keeps my household working. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you're not finna come in here and throw my schedule and my timing off for your benefit.
That's understandable. And like I said, if any man don't understand that, then something is wrong.
So
Especially if he
you
know
know,
you in
Kevin,
bed at a certain
that's why I'm
time.
over here. That's why I'm over here celibate and not dating now. Because it's just like no. When the man say, the right thing, then guess what? I'll be going out. If he don't, and they keep trying to, what you doing right now, this and all of that, whatever, it's like, sir, you got to if you can't even take the time or don't respect me enough to put the proper time in to plan a proper date, it's like, where am I finna let you leave me anyway? And you not finna leave me to your bed because you not a great leader.
Right.
Planning a date ain't hard. You could have planned a coffee date, but you still took, be ready at 3. I mean, it's not hard.
You got to understand something too, though, Tiana. A lot of these guys they're not used to that. They, like I said, they're used to calling that girl at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. What you doing? Nothing. Come outside. I'm outside. And they
Yeah.
hit the door. That's what they're used to. That's what they're
Yeah.
accustomed to. Anything outside of what the norm is for them, you're difficult.
Right.
You're gonna
Well,
be
guess what?
deemed difficult.
I'm gonna be difficult, put up, laid up with my feet kicked up at peace, rubbing my
Right.
feet together.
Uh, hey, I ain't mad at you.
Do I look like I lost some beauty sleep? I'm getting all the proper rest over here. You hear me?
Right. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you one bit. Let me ask you this though.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Do standards eliminate potentials before it has a chance to even grow?
No, because sometimes things happen. Sometimes, stuff come up that may interfere with time and, or just, whatever y'all had planned and stuff like that. But you will see that with them giving you some type of explanation on what happened and you giving them another chance.
Okay.
But when it be a consistent thing of them, what you doing? What you doing? Evidently, I'm not doing nothing because you haven't made no plans.
Right. 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 Well, I'm gonna take I said I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna go a different route with
Okay.
this particular question. I'm gonna say
Uh-huh.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say yes, it does, because to me, some people get cut off before they even have the opportunity to show the person who they can actually become. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, for instance, I have interest in a woman. I have interest in this woman, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And to her, there may be some likings, but I might not be
Right.
checking off all the boxes for her, right?
Right.
So before she even allowed me to show her who I truly am or who I truly can become, she's already um, trying to eliminate me.
That
You
could be
know,
true too. But what I'm saying is, for a woman, it's like, okay, you cannot have your stuff all the way together. But if you can't even plan it something as simple as a date, you right, you finna get cut off because that's simple.
right?
How you want me to deal with some of the other stuff? You can't even do this little thing right here. Or if you can't
Okay,
make it or something, just a simple pick up. I can't make, this is such and such came up, whatever. Can we reschedule? That's all it takes. A follow through. They're not following through.
well, okay. I see your point. I definitely see your point.
So give me something to give a reason to show me. I mean, and if this is something that you want and you're intentional about it, guess what? Don't come in here playing no games. So guess what? If you ain't playing games, I'm gonna see who you are, and I'm gonna
Right.
see where the growth needs to be had or what needs to be worked on, or if we can have something.
Okay.
You can't text me what you doing for a whole week straight and we never went out in 2 weeks. Come on now, like sir, you can't.
Right. 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 I'm like I said. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I definitely get it. I mean, I understand wholeheartedly where you're coming from
You need
because
me talking about send me a picture. How about playing something to see me in person?
right.
Yeah. There's a solution to everything. That's what I'm saying. Everything is just not a strong cutoff. You can tell when a person just totally on BS. But for somebody, it's like, that's why I say I'm such a communicator. Look, baby, maybe we got off on the wrong foot. I don't know. Maybe you was nervous. Maybe you had a rough week. I don't know what it is. Only you could let me know what that is so we can see if there's something we can do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
That's it.
Right. Because Liz made a comment. Liz said texting alone ain't gonna cut it.
That's a pen pal.
Right. I mean, I get it. I understand. I definitely understand where you ladies coming from.
And they think that's a form of communication. Because I actually went through that with somebody, and that's when he was talking about, I want to see you tonight. Sir, we just been talking on the phone. You ain't did nothing in real life.
Right. So let me ask this: do you think
Hmm.
people are addicted to that idea of saying there's better options?
They could be, and you could get them, but are you keeping them? That's the whole thing about it. It's better options, but are you keeping them? Or are you fumbling everything?
And that, if that be the case, if they're fumbling the options too, then who's at fault here?
Them.
Who
Because
right,
they trying to use the same tactic. That's what I'm saying. Like you said, you can't treat all women the same. You can't treat all men the same.
right,
And if you're a woman, if I'm a woman, I don't know everything. You know what, babe? You absolutely right. Thank you for the correction. You see, that's why I like you, because you got great leadership skills. You see, I can put some trust in you, because you're leading me in correction, but you're doing it in a way that I can receive it.
right,
Thank you for that.
right. Liz made it. Liz just commented. She said sometimes people are addicted to thinking the grass is greener somewhere else. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true. That's true.
And that's why them people be trying to come back and spin the block.
Right,
That's what that's all about.
right. But let me ask you let me ask you guys this question, Liz. Let me ask you this question as well,
Hmm.
and I'm going to base it off the comment Liz just made.
Okay.
Has there ever been a time the grass have been greener on the other side? Tiana, you can answer
Absolutely.
this. You can answer this question as well, Tiana.
Yes. Yes, the grass has been green on the other side. Because sometimes, and I've been guilty of this, of being loyal to a fault.
Okay.
It could have been a man that wanted to talk to me that was a better choice, better option, better everything. But because I was with this person, guess what? I chose to stick with them because I thought it was going to get better.
Right. That's where your loyalty lied. Right. Right.
I was with somebody and somebody offered me a 10-carat diamond ring and I turned it down. And the stuff that I was with didn't even work out. It did get better. It kept getting worse.
Right. Wow. You know, and like I say, people always use that analogy. You know, the grass is green on the other side, or people think the
Yeah,
grass is green on the other side. But has there ever been a time where the grass was actually green on the other side? And Liz made a comment. Liz, like, um, the grass is greener where you water it at.
and absolutely.
You know, and that is true too. But what happens when you pouring yourself into a situation and that grass just won't grow and that grass just won't get green?
That's
But
what I'm saying.
you now it's time to um pretty much dig it up and redo it.
Right. And see, sometimes I could say I've experienced this. A person will say this and that, or I feel like you're not doing this, you're not doing that, or whatever. But then when I left and they went to talk to other people, come to find out I was doing a whole lot. They realized I was. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And it was just like, well, I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that because every time I want to do something, you somebody come see you first, or you want me to be at your house 3 days a week. How can I be productive doing anything at your house? You see what
right,
I'm saying? So to
right.
me, the grass, you wasn't watering the grass, you was actually pouring weeds in it.
Okay. So let me ask you this then.
Hmm.
Is never settling actually a bad advice? Let's say if
No,
you
it's
giving
not.
somebody some advice and you tell them, girl, don't never settle. Is that bad advice?
No, to me that's good advice,
Okay.
because the sooner you can be honest with yourself about what you want and what you don't want, and you could be honest with another person without hurting their feelings if that's not what you want, you gonna save yourself some heartbreak. It may take you a little longer or whatever, but guess what? You won't have 50 million war stories to be like, this man did this to me, this man did that to me. You don't have to keep going through everything. Because now that I'm actually really standing on business or whatever, and I'm not saying, well, I have been talking to him for this amount of time. It's like, no, when you seeing the red flags out the gate, you like, nope, Or if he started out texting you, what you doing at 10 o'clock at night, it's like, no, this is not going to work. Guess what? I dodged a bullet.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. I
Because
get it.
sometimes we have the habit of thinking we can change people. But if they already starting out with poor, you know what I'm saying, decisions and, things like that, it's like, you're not even giving me nothing to work with.
And I'm just glad. I'm glad you said that. You know that they're not giving you nothing to work with. I'm glad you said that because that's going to lead into my next question. My next
Mm-hmm.
question was: are standards based on what looks good or what you need?
They should be based on what you need, but people basing on how you look. And then that's what I'm saying. When you get the woman, whatever, she bad, the body banging, all this and that, whatever, but can't boil a hot dog.
Right. Right. You're right. Because 9 times out of 10, a person gonna definitely choose what looks impressive to them instead of what actually feels right.
Right.
And like I say, that's a lot of people do that. A lot of people are doing that. They only going by what looks good to them.
But this is why I be okay, because when I'm in something with somebody in a relationship or whatever, I'm always being genuine. I'm always being considerate. I'm always, you know what I'm saying, showing up. I'm always inserting or inputting something.
Right.
It's my time, it's my attention, it's my generosity, it's me being there, being attentive. It's me being assisting you with something. I'm always pouring into the other person. And
Okay.
everything I do is with pure intentions. So when I get ready to leave, no matter how it ended or whatever, I'd be okay with it. Cause I didn't do nothing malicious, and I didn't do nothing to limit you or to, what I'm saying, misuse you.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. Well, let me ask
Mhm.
this. Do you think people miss out on real love chasing the perfect timing and perfection?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with
Cause that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like, you looking for the glass house, but guess what? Soon as somebody if they need anger management and they throw a vase at the glass, the house broke. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's like it
Right.
looked good, so all that other stuff start popping out.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because I do know real love rarely shows up perfect. It
Right.
rarely shows up perfect. It's something that's built.
Right.
You have to
Absolutely.
build that, and I know that for a fact. It has. You basically have to grow into that.
Right.
You
And that's what
know.
I was just gonna say. Cause you hear people, they be so infatuated with how they look, and oh, he took me shopping, or she did this and this and that. They fell in love. They didn't grow in love.
Right. That's definitely a difference.
Right.
She probably in love with the idea of what can be done for her.
Right.
That's what
Right.
she's in love with.
Right.
She's in love with the financial aspects of it, pretty much.
But never once asked the man how the books go. Could you show me how you do your invoice? What if he gets sick? What if something happened to him? Now you like the perks of everything, but now you can't even run it.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're right.
You
You're
it's
absolutely
it's
right
fine
about
to
that.
have the perks and everything. You got to make sure you have somebody that's genuinely there for you. Yeah, we all need money to survive and live and thrive and everything that we need to do. But guess what? When the banks is closed, when the car in the garage, when you take the jewelry off and them fancy clothes off, it's that person. Is they willing to sit next to you on that couch? Can y'all cuddle? Can y'all talk? Can y'all have a hard decision? Can y'all laugh? You know what I'm saying? Like, just all those things. If the person's sick, can you come go check on them?
Right. Right.
You pulling up every time they giving some money, or every time she ready to give up some sex or whatever. But if the person ain't feeling well, or what I'm saying, can you tell something wrong with your person by the inflection in their voice, the change in their voice? That's really knowing your person, not the stuff.
Right. I agree. I agree. But let me ask you this: would you think men and women are judged differently for having standards or having high standards?
Yeah, they are. But guess what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Because guess what? If I went through hell and high water, and I got all the war stories or whatever, and I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and I was disciplined, and I didn't party when everybody else was partying, and I done became a successful multimillionaire, whatever. You think I'm finna just be letting anybody pull up?
Right.
Absolutely not. It didn't. It just the journey I took to get here. Like, no, you can't just pull up. It ain't whatever over here. It's not even because of the money. It's the journey and the time and the effort and the hard work that I put in to get it.
Right.
So you don't come over here and it's just open sesame. Like, you don't have to put no work in. And it start with those standards.
Well, I agree with that. Let me ask this.
Hmm.
This is the question that I was going to pose earlier,
Okay.
and I told you I was going to get back to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask it now. Do standards change when someone you really like walks in?
Do they change when someone you really like walks in?
Let's say, for instance, you're in the room
Hmm.
and your standards is up here.
Hmm.
Do your standards change when you see something you really like,
No.
or do your standards remain the same no matter of
They remain the
the
same.
individual?
They remain the same.
Okay.
Now, if we get together and stuff like that, I may need to compromise on some things because it's just not about myself now. And that be the thing. It's like once you get with somebody, it's not my way or the highway. Because it's
Okay.
not you no more. You invited another person or you welcomed another person in your life, in your space.
Huh. Okay. I mean, I see it. I see it. I mean, I agree with that.
And it's still standards or whatever. Because if this man think he finna be going out all night or whatever and then coming in at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, no, it's still gonna be some standards.
Right. Facts. That's facts.
I seen this clip online. This man was working overnight or whatever, and this lady, they was married, and she going out. She got on body suits and all this and that. She coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning. Somebody, but you ain't here. You knew the man was working overnight, and he probably, the grave yard shift, they get paid more. This man is being provided. He's taking care of you, and you talking about he ain't at home. You don't want to be in the bed by yourself, and you out in the clubs and out in the street 4 nights a week, coming in at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Ain't no standard there.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
And
You're
you
absolutely
actually
right.
you trying to manipulate the situation. You knew the man worked overnights when you got with him.
And for her, if that's the way she's carrying on, then apparently she's not working herself.
That's whole behavior.
Right.
So guess what? Maybe he should have
Absolutely.
had some higher standards.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Had a woman that was getting proper rest, and guess what? She was up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. When he came home, he had breakfast waiting on the table for him because he been working all night to provide for them.
Okay. Well, I have one more question. It's like a closeout question.
Uh-huh.
And I want to ask this question.
Okay.
And I think this question may well, I'm just gonna ask the question. Let me ask the question.
Okay.
Are standards helping you find love or helping you avoid it?
No, I mean, the standards let you know that you love yourself first and foremost.
Okay.
And to me, they helping you get what you want. So it's helping you find it. Because if you didn't have no standards, you would be accepting anything.
Okay.
And that's anything ain't love.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know how you felt per se on
Yeah.
that particular question. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm kind of in agreement with it, but for those that may not want to answer that question honestly,
Right.
when you don't want to answer it honestly, that reveals everything.
Absolutely.
That reveals everything.
And
Uh,
at some point, guess what? Those matches are gonna match up with that. That's
right.
when the inconsistencies start coming in or the match drop off. The representative is gone.
And Liz made a comment. Liz said standards help you get what you want. And
Right.
if you don't get it, you're still okay being single.
That means that's not the person for you. But that's what I'm saying. People use manipulation tactics. Well, you just gonna be an old bit of Betty by yourself or whatever. Oh, but I would rather be by myself than to be going through hell with you.
Right.
That's how I
Right.
look at it. I don't
Right.
want to be with somebody just for the sake of saying I got somebody. Or I don't want the man to buy me this big house and he ain't never in it. You know what I'm saying? To make it a home.
Right. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Attention, all creatives and business owners. Are you a clothing designer, music artist, entrepreneur, or brand owner looking to get your name out there? Here's your chance to be featured on Situations the Podcast, the platform that shines a spotlight on real people, real stories, and real success. Get promoted, get seen, and connect with a growing audience that supports movers and dreamers like you. We're also looking for sponsors ready to grow with us and be part of the movement. Tap in today. Let's make your situation go viral.
Okay. Liz made a comment. Liz stated
Mm-hmm.
that people who love themselves and can handle solitude are fine being alone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with
And that
that.
comes with having a standard. Because guess what? When you start lowering your standard and that man that you weren't dealing with no more, and you be like, dang, I've been over here. I've been by myself. I've been celibate for 6 months. And now you got a little itch or whatever. You just being hard on yourself, whatever. Now you done let him come back. Now you like, dang, why I even do that? You see what I'm saying? You lowered your
Right.
standard.
Right.
It was a reason it didn't work out. And now you let him creep back in because you was having a weak moment. Or her. Baby, I changed this and that. Now she done came over there and tore all your stuff up in your house. Or you ain't got no peace. She trying to go through your phone. She want to argue this and that. But you was cool and you was back on track when you wasn't dealing with her.
Right.
So keep the standards.
You're absolutely right. I think that was I think that was a pretty amazing episode. I really liked the
Yeah.
how the scenarios and the questions went. I appreciate everybody
Me too.
that was tuned in. We do have a few winners for tonight. We have Liz. Liz will be getting well, I basically I ain't gonna say winners. I'm gonna say appreciation. You know,
Right.
I truly appreciate you guys tuning in every week and being part of Situations the Podcast. Because, like I said, without you guys, we're nothing without you guys. So, Liz, you're gonna be Liz, you're gonna be receiving a cup. I'm gonna show this cup again. So Liz gonna be receiving one of these cups. Donnell, you're gonna be receiving one of these cups. And I see we have someone else tuned in, whomever that may be, that's tuned in right now. Just put a thumbs up in the chat. Put a thumbs up in the comment section for me. That way I can see who it is. And that way we can definitely get you a cup as well. Everybody that was tuned in tonight gonna be receiving one of these cups. This is a really nice drinking cup. It's the Sox 125th anniversary glass. So I'm gonna be giving everybody that was part of the program tonight one of these cups. Okay, Darcy,
Okay.
I see you tuned in. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of today's show. You also going to be receiving one of these cups, Darcy. You know, I'm gonna make sure I get you one of these as well. It's a real nice drinking glass. Okay. On behalf of Situations the Podcast, we do things like this from time to time. We have giveaways, and we just try to make it to where we show our appreciation to
Right.
our supporters and for everybody that support the show. Okay. Anybody else that's tuned in right now, drop a thumbs up in the chat. I'm gonna get you a cup as well. Okay, I'm gonna give them a few seconds to see who all gonna put a thumbs up for me before we close out today's show. Tell us guys how you feel about today's show. What y'all think about today's show? Donnell, if you're still in the chat, if you're still tuned in with us, let us know what you think of today's episode. Elizabeth, tell us what you think about today's episode. Darcy, I don't know how long you've been in with us, but you also tell us what you think about today's episode. Um, Anybody else that's in the chat right now or watching tuned in, drop a thumbs up. That way we can get you a glass as well. Okay, Elizabeth said, great episode. It was fire. Once again, like I say, you guys are the reason we do this every week. You know,
Right.
you guys show us the love, you guys show us support, and this is
Right.
what make us want to continue to have episodes that you and I can actually relate to. So,
Right.
Okay, Donnell said he definitely enjoyed it. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Donnell. Darcy said, yeah, she think men definitely should dress like men. That's a proven fact.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Okay.
Right. Okay, Deanna, that's gonna
Yes.
conclude our show for today.
Okay.
Anything you want to close out with?
I enjoyed it very much. I love all the feedback, the interactions that you guys have. I just want to say thank you for your continued love and support, and we appreciate you very much.
Right, right. And I want to piggyback off of that myself. I just want to say thank you guys for always showing love and support every week. As you guys know, we have made it official going forward. Situational podcast will air every Sunday at 6 p.m. going forward. So we haven't officially made that official. But once again, I can't say, I really can't express how I feel right now. This today made 90 episodes for us. 90 episodes.